Call 2011-142, State of Arkansas versus Charles Tomlinson.
Your Honor, it's also going to be resolved by modifying that to a contempt.
Mr. Tomlinson, you've heard the proposal of the state to modify the charges to contempt of court from a petition to revoke.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand that?
Yes, sir.
And have you gone over what that means with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And your attorney, Mr. Cooper, also discussed with you the agreement that has been worked out?
Yes, sir.
So you understand the terms of the agreement and the punishment you're to receive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On the modified charge of contempt of court, how do you now plead?
Guilty.
Okay. Entering this plea of guilty pursuant to this agreement, are you entering this plea of guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
In doing so, you understand that the nature of the charges against you and the full range of penalties you're facing?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you're, by entering a plea of guilty, you're giving up certain rights. The most important rights are you're giving up a right to a hearing at which the state would have the burden of proving that you were in contempt of court. At that hearing, you'd be entitled to the representation and assistance of an attorney. And at that hearing, you'd be entitled to confront the witnesses against you, which is normally done by having your attorney cross-examine those witnesses on your behalf. At that hearing, you would also, after that hearing, you would also be entitled to appeal. By entering plea of true, you're giving up all of those rights. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And understanding the rights you're giving up, are you still willing to enter this plea of true?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering this plea of true or guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody forced you into entering a plea of true?
No, sir.
As you plead here today, you acknowledge that in fact your actions do constitute a violation of the court's previous order, and therefore you acknowledging that you are in fact in contempt of court?
Yes, sir.
Based on that, the court will accept the plea of guilty, finding the defendant is in contempt of court, and sentencing the defendant to 45 days in the county jail, subject to credit for time already served. That'll be the order of the court. Court will call 2013-46, State of Arkansas versus Batancia McKinney. Ms. McKinney, you're facing a charge of making and uttering hot checks. It's a Class C felony. You're appearing here today for purposes of arraignment. Have you made any contact with an attorney at this point?
No, sir.
All right. What I need to explain then is you have an absolute right to be represented by an attorney. You exercise that right by going out and hiring the attorney of your choice, and the court doesn't get involved in that because it's a matter of private contract between you and the attorney.
Okay.
However, if in the process of hiring the attorney of your choice, you conclude that you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you're entitled to have an attorney represent you regardless of your ability to hire the attorney. So if you find you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you're entitled to have one appointed for you.
Okay.
Now, the way that happens, and Mr. Cooper's already anticipated me, he's the public defender. He's passed you a document called, it's an application for representation of the public defender. If you want to seek the representation of the public defenders, you fill that out and turn that back into them today.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, so that's how you secure an attorney. Either you hire the one of your choice or you fill that out.
Okay.
Now, on the charge of making and uttering a hot check, how do you plead today?
Guilty.
Well, I'm not going to accept a plea of guilty until you've had an opportunity to consider talking to an attorney.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
Okay.
And this matter will be set off for reappearance on April 4th.
Okay.
Okay? So you come back on April 4th, and By that time, you have it either hired the attorney or gotten the public defender appointed and appear with that attorney on April 4th, all right?
Okay, and my name is Bianca. It's not Beyonce. However you
I
pronounce
have
it.
it spelled here on the docket as
Yeah, I saw that, and it's spelled wrong. It's Bianca.
How do you spell it?
Beyonca.
B-E,
Yonica.
I see it, all right. You be back on, if you're gonna make that application, get that filled out today, you'll be back on April 4th.